Podcast, WATP.
Opie puts up these shorts. A lot of times they're the same things he puts up on TikTok. Not always. But he puts up these YouTube shorts. And a lot of the times it's him interacting with people in New York that he thinks is interesting or relevant. Well, in this scenario, it's him picking up after Doggy.
Oh, yes.
God.
Have you seen this?
Yes.
Okay. This is interesting.
Doggy, you rule. You rule. You rule. All right, get out.
Okay. So we just saw Doggy take a poop. Now Opie's got the poopy bag and he's dancing around. So he's actually on camera for once. We don't see this very often, but he put the phone down. He's got it set up so he can watch him pick up his dog's poop. Now we've seen him obsessed with other people's dog's poop.
Yes.
We've seen him run up to dogs that are pooping and film it. And the owner's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Whoa!" Like, yeah. The dog shit on the sidewalk. We're cleaning it up. Relax. But this is how Opie reacts to it.
All right, let me get in there. The evidence strong. In the bag.
Okay, so now he's got it in the bag. And now he's treating the bag like nunchucks. Yep.
Oh.
He literally just put it between his legs.
Oh, God. I wish that would bust open.
I know.
He's got a very weird obsession with poop. This goes back to his story about shitting in the lake.
Oh, yeah.
It was the ocean.
Was it the ocean?
Yes.
Okay. That makes it better.
This is much classier. Thank you, Jetty. for
It's
looking out for
self-flushing.
Craig.
In the ocean, though, it could come up to the shoreline pretty easily, right?
Yes, it definitely could wash
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
But he had the dog on a leash before. Where he's not holding the leash anymore. Is he with somebody else?
Maybe he had to tie the leash up to a post or something so he could put on this amazing video.
Oh.
Because it's all about content with him. You know, he's always figuring out ways to put out content. Why is he literally playing with shit?
Look,
That's a good question.
There's one way he could have saved this video. If he had taken that bag, put it in front of a homeless guy, and stomped on it and walked away, we'd have been like, all right, Opie's back. Thank God.
Right. Then I would get it. I'd get the joke. But just the fact that he's pretending he's one of the Ninja Turtles with his dog shit is disturbing.
He put the turd in turtle.
I'm also worried about Doggy. Doggy, blink twice if Opie's giving you laxatives.
I'm working
Right?
on myself, guys. Yeah, show the therapist this one. See what they think about it. Now, Opie did a show. He went down. He's in Atlanta right now for the wedding.
Mhm.
He had to go down to Atlanta. He had a really crazy travel schedule when he was bitching about it earlier in the week.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even say where he was going.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like West Coast, probably a pain in the ass to get there. New York to Atlanta, it's like a 2-hour flight.
Yep.
He
Direct.
took JetBlue, or as he calls it, JetBlue. Guess it needed the money. Anyway, so Anthony put out a tweet because Opie is hanging out with his buddy Buzzy. Now he met Buzzy in college. They are longtime friends. You know, they go back to Geneseo. Buzzy's Rochester native. And so Anthony put out a tweet on his Twitter. And he wrote, gotta be honest, this isn't a bad show at all. The Opester is pretty sincere here. He's got a capable co-host in his longtime friend Buzzy. They had a lot to talk about and a lot of common ground to discuss. A big plus is Opie doesn't seem to be using that weird voice thing as much. Seems he just wants to hang and talk with a friend and doesn't need that crutch. It's very natural and not forced. Give it a watch. And he links to Opie's YouTube video with the tweet. Now you can see by the stats here, this tweet was seen 68,000 times. And this led to the biggest video Opie has put up all year. It's got almost 6,000 views, this video. This is a huge success for the Opester, thanks to his former partner, Anthony Cumia, giving it a little promo on X. 842 likes on this, 140 comments, 31 retweets. So people were taking notice to this, and I thought I would check it out. This is his most popular show, and I'm the guy who usually likes to review and give you guys a sense of what Opie's up to. So let's see how things start off, and this is how he opens it.
I'm doing my theme music.
Okay,
You gotta
going,
help me.
keep going. I don't know what the song is, though.
I just make up beats.
Oh, okay.
Yo, I make up beats for the kids. What's up, everyone? Good morning and welcome to my little live stream. No, we're not 500 feet above the streets of New York City. No.
Now, even with his friend there, he still has to do that embarrassing singy thing that he calls beats
For the kids.
for the kids. He's always not well lit, no matter where he is. He's outside at his friend's very nice looking house in front of the pool, and he happens to have a dark shadow over his face. I know he's from radio, but he's watched TV before, right? He's seen how this is usually done.
Yeah, I don't know what Buzzy does, but he knows to at least turn his face into the light.
A little bit.
Yeah, at least a little. Yeah,
And-
not there.
Opie in the natural light, we don't see this version of Opie. He's looking a little haggard.
Well, compared to his friend, yeah.
Yeah.
His friend's shirt is great, though.
Yeah, he's got the Bills,
Hawaiian
shirt. And there's a lot of Bills talk
Yeah, there is.
on this episode. In fact, Opie brings this up.
And Buzzy's a huge Bills fan living in Atlanta. None of it makes sense. Trust me.
None of it makes sense.
What do you mean?
He grew up in Rochester, Western New York, like the
Yeah.
Bills. Continues to like the Bills when he moved to Atlanta. How is this difficult? It's not a difficult concept to figure out. I know it's crazy what's going on. I don't even understand, my friends. It's nuts.
No, it's very complicated, Carl. It's just like how I'm sitting here in Los Angeles wearing a Mets shirt. I don't want to try to explain it to Opie. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
You're so weird.
So weird. None of this makes any sense, Christian. All right. So Opie cannot stop bitching about his nephew's wedding. I am telling you, this is definitely going to get back to his nephew and cause problems. Because every time he's on a show, he has to talk about how it's Easter weekend and WTF. What's the fuck's this guy thinking?
And he's a brain surgeon, but he's not. You would think a brain surgeon would go, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't get married the day before Easter." Nah. So I'm actually down here by myself representing my family. My wife's back in New York, getting the whole Easter thing together.
Right. So you figured it out. It's not that difficult. So there's a solution to this problem and you're still bitching about it anyway? Is that what you're saying right now? This guy could not hold down a job. If this fucks with him so much, I have a wedding and Easter in the same week? Yeah. There's people have a lot of things in the same day sometimes that they have to do. Those people are called employed.
Carl, we're having like 20 to 30 people at our house tomorrow for Easter, and I'm here with you guys hanging out. Yeah, no, I know.
No one told me there was going to be boasting. Look at Popular McGee over here.
I figured it out. My wife's doing everything, so I'm a lot like Opie.
Smart. That's the way to do it. She probably likes that you're out of her hair right now doing this podcast, I would imagine.
She's very happily dyeing Easter eggs with the kids without me. Yeah, that's what she wants to be doing right now.
How was the Little League game this morning? Did you get your team win?
No, they all just, it's coach pitch for 7-year-olds. They all bat around, and then the other team comes and they bat around, and it happens twice, and then the game's over.
Oh my God. Well, thankfully that's merciful.
I took the under, and it was a mistake. Let's just put it that way. DraftKings has not been kind to this Burbank
My
Little League.
poor parents, we actually played real baseball, 6 innings, but it was real baseball. And you would have innings where the pitcher just could not find the strike zone. And it would just be walk.
I know this is why people tuned in, but my son's in kid pitch. And yes, that's the problem. It's nothing but wild pitches and the other team stealing 4 consecutive bases on a single. Yeah, so it's great. It's a lot of fun.
E-Rock feels for Opie. He says, oh my God, a wedding, Easter, WrestleMania weekend? How can he do all this stuff? I know. He's not even bringing up the fact that we got WrestleMania tomorrow night. I think it's tonight and tomorrow night, WrestleMania. It's wild what's going on over there. Okay, let's get a weather report. Opie loves giving us weather reports.
Yes, but we're down here in Georgia. We're actually in the suburbs, the sprawling suburbs of Atlanta.
Whoa, that's not downtown Atlanta? Are you sure about that, Opie? We're actually in the suburbs. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. This looks like the neighborhood that made the Braves leave Turner Field to go out to the suburbs. This looks like the rough and tumble streets of
Right.
Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
the
that a cow?
sprawling suburbs of Atlanta. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's more trees down here than I've ever seen in my life. They're all green. In New York City, we're struggling with spring. It kind of wants to pop, but it's holding back.
I stopped pulling these clips because it's so boring. But every show, Opie starts off with, "Oh, it's miserable in New York. We're waiting for spring to pop. It's just not popping yet with the spring." And then he comes down to Atlanta, he's just like, "Whoa, there's trees and they're green." Holy shit. Tell me you have nothing to say without telling me you have nothing to say.
I'm going to
Horrible way to
assume that
start.
Opie used to drive to Oswego. He's seen more trees than what's behind him. I just want to poke a hole in his whole
No,
argument
it's more
there.
trees than he's ever seen.
All right. You know what? You know him better than I do, Carl.
Right. So I love Michigan Mark gets involved in the super chat. There aren't a lot of super chats. He probably clears $10 on this episode, but we appreciate the people who do support our friend Opie, especially with questions like this.
That sounds like a
We
lot
gotta
to me.
say-
$10.
Well, it's WATB money, I guess.
It's good for Opie.
We got to say thank you to Michigan Mark. Morning, Ope. Did you end up checking out the Isotopes? Not yet. There's a band, the Isotopes, that this guy wants me to check out. Not yet. And and if we're going to talk music, you got to talk Bruce Springsteen. You're looking at the.
Oh boy.
Aw.
So that backfired. I
Buzzy.
appreciate people spreading the word of the Isotopes. And check them out wherever you stream music. We have a
by the
YouTube
way,
channel.
If Opie was in Western New York, I don't know, today, is there anywhere he'd be able to go see the Isotopes, Carl?
Well, later tonight at Johnny's Irish Pub on Culver Road. Yes, you would be
Perfect.
able to see the Isotopes. And there is no cover for that as well. Because we like to give back to the people.
I'll be
fine
there.
folks who got us there.
No cover.
So Michigan Mark, I love that he asked, have you checked out the Isotopes? No, I haven't. And then it backfires because then he gets into Bruce Springsteen talk, and there's nothing worse. Like we were just talking about Little League. There's literally nothing worse than old men talking about Springsteen.
Agreed.
I'd rather hear Springsteen talking, and I would never want to hear that. So that's pretty brutal. But Opie still knows how to crack his buddy up. He's still got it.
He was gurgling like.
Buzzy's loving that. It's like, it's just like we're back at the frat house. This guy's a card. This guy's a
Good
whole
old
character.
days.
Yep. He loves it.
I think Buzzy's thinking this is where Greg cracks himself up. Let's see how long he does this for.
He might be. He might be. Buzzy's a good friend, though, to Greg, which is nice. They've kept in touch through the years. So apparently, Opie takes this flight, and Buzzy goes and picks him up at the airport. Very nice, considering he lives over an hour away.
Oh, wow.
He gets his buddy Buzzy to come pick him up. Oh, and Opie also makes a point to say that he wasn't allowed to hang his suit. He had to put it in the overhead. He's like, yeah, I'm not flying first class anymore. So Opie's not flying first class and needs his buddy to come pick him up from the airport. And he's staying with his friend who has 4 cats, and Opie's what he claims is deathly allergic to cats. So all of this screams like what poor people do or normal people.
It was a super early flight, too.
Yes. Well, he's got another early flight coming up.
Well, he's got to
But-
get back for Easter, Carl. Come on.
So he tells this story about how he's very uncomfortable in Buzzy's car. He's wearing his winter coat and his winter hat. And he's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Hot
shit.
there.
Do you guys ever plan for where you're going to be? When you
Yes.
get, like that's how I dress, knowing that, well, when I get there, I'm going to want to be wearing these clothes. Opie's so stupid. He's wearing a wool hat and his big winter coat.
But they're not fused to his body. He could have easily taken them off.
You would think, but he's getting all uncomfortable in Buzzy's car. And Buzzy goes, hey, I'm going to pull at this grocery store. I'm going to grab some lunch meat or something. And Opie's not feeling good. And here's the story.
Because as we're pulling in the parking lot, I go to Jeff. His name's Jeff. He doesn't like being called Buzzy anymore. I go,
It's funny because you call him Buzzy in the description of the show, and the whole time the show's going. And I'm sure no one calls him Buzzy. That's like your frat buddy name. But Opie hates going by Opie, and he still has to go by Opie. That's how everyone knows him. So he's punishing his friend Buzzy. I'm Opie, you're Buzzy. Fuck off. The guy's like, no, I'm just Jeff now, Opie. We're not in college anymore.
called Buzzy anymore. I go, I'm going to puke. He goes, just let me get to the back of the parking lot. He pulled in. I had the door swung open as he was pulling in. I got out and started power booting all around his Buffalo Bills SUV, into the tree, everywhere. And then he comes back with the lunch meat, and I go, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good now. We're good.
Ready to start the day.
What was wrong with him?
Opie's got a weak tum-tum, doesn't he?
How
No wonder
many?
he's bitching about having to fly. He's just like, oh my gosh, then I got off the airplane and then I don't feel so good.
How many bikini teenies did he have on the flight? That's my question.
That's a good point. He does not divulge that information. So Opie gets sick before they go to his house. We're going to learn more about what happened after that. But first, we have another super chatter who wants to talk about the Isotopes.
What is Mikey saying? I heard the Isotopes guitarist is, oh my God.
So it says, I heard the Isotopes guitarist is gay and doesn't read super chats with a question mark.
The second of those is simply not true.
Simply not true. There's rumors going around. Don't believe the rumors.
Well played.
Yeah, these people are get mad if I don't read their hate super chats.
Okay, I don't know why that was hateful. Being gay is nothing wrong with that. And some people don't like to read super chats. What are you going to do? But apparently Opie took that as a hateful comment. But I love that people keep pestering Opie about the Isotopes. We're going to see more of that. But this is Opie reading a super sticker that comes in. And Opie can't read. This is something that Anthony's talked about before, where the advertisers would not let Opie do the ad reads because he cannot read. And here's a perfect example of that.
But thank you, Paul, for the super sticker. We got Sue Fat giving us a little something. Thank you.
What do you think that name is supposed to be?
So fat.
Of course it is. He pronounces it Sue Fat. That doesn't even make sense.
Is he that obsessed with sewage that he thinks
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, so Sue Fat coming at him with a super sticker. Very nice. But then more talk about the Isotopes. And as I mentioned, this guy Buzzy's from Rochester. Opie lived in Rochester, worked at WCMF with Brother Wheeze.
Isotopes big in Rochester. How you not know that?
Because we haven't lived in Rochester in 30 years.
Wait, the Isotopes were big in Rochester? Are they big now, though, Waver?
Yeah.
All right, it's a band that everyone's saying I got to check out.
Right.
So we'll have to, maybe we'll check it out after the live
You
stream.
know what? I will be at the Great House of Guitars coming up beginning of July. So
Really?
maybe
You're going back to Rochester?
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any shows at the beginning of July? I think we do, right? Let's get Buzzy out there.
I was laughing because of the poor chat that he showed after that, which was somebody's rooster face, and it said, "What's the biggest cock you've ever seen?" Because government Opie doesn't put up a chat.
I know. Opie just never looks at what is put on there. Just does that. So the Isotopes are a big band in Rochester. They should know who they are. So I like that they're going like, oh shit, should we know who they are? Are they big now? Are they big when we were there? They're not sure. So that's fun because now they're thinking about that. We're going to get back to that in a moment. But first, Jeff decides to embarrass Opie right here. And I definitely enjoyed this.
I'm sure.
Dude, I had no choice. It was power booting. And then all of a sudden he gets back with the cold cuts. And I'm like, we're good now. Let's have fun.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's get a flight of craft beer. Let's walk around the neighborhood. Let's see Deion Sanders' house.
After your nappy.
All right. Well, you know.
If you're going to take a nappy.
Buzzy's scoring
somebody
off
else
me.
in the Dabbleverse getting called out for naps?
Yep.
Wow.
I just like the way Opie responded to that too. She's like, "Oh man, yeah, I had to sit down and rest my eyes for a little bit." So yeah, this guy lives in a very nice neighborhood. Deion Sanders used to live there, like when they were walking around the houses. So he's doing very well for himself.
Well, it sounds like his SUV is wrapped in Bill's.
Yes, yeah, he's got a whole
Whatever.
Bills thing.
Yeah.
His SUV. He's got tons of Bills memorabilia in the house and
That is
stuff.
a nice yard.
Oh, that's a beautiful yard for sure. Opie invites himself into the hot tub. I didn't pull this clip, but he's like, "Is that hot tub hot?" And he's like, "I can make it hot with my app." And he pulls out his phone. So it's like, "Oh, now you're making your friend who's putting you up also heat up his hot tub for a couple $100.
Yeah.
What a good friend. After he picked you up from the airport.
You puke all over the SUV.
Oh, just the person I wanted to talk to after we found out that Opie's a little nappy guy. Amanda Lynn Nappy, remember, for 14 months. Anytime Jenny Jiggles is on, it's a special super duper bonus episode. I am chubbed up.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's exciting right there.
Hot diggity.
All right. Now, let's get back to the Isotopes talk because most of the show is remember when conversations. And it's just these guys going, oh, yeah, then we lived at that house and then the attic. Remember that one party we had? Remember that chick? I'm like, ugh. No one knows what you're talking about. Actually, there is one guy who knows what they're talking about who's in the chat, who's their other buddy.
Oh.
So then he's feeding them things. A broken couch. Like, oh, yeah, broken couch story. They're telling all these things. So I think Anthony was lying to us when he said it was a good episode because I found it extremely boring. I don't like that he...
Yeah, there's 10 minutes of Funko Pop talk.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, you watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really into Funko Pops for some reason. We'll get into that.
Way to bury the lead, Carl. I didn't know there was going to be Funko Pop talk.
Okay, all right. Well, I like to tease things from time to time. But first, I love that they buy this.
Thank you, Waver.
You may have noticed.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
okay.
Whoa. Time out. I just saw the same thing.
All right. So, Michigan Mark, you have no idea. You're looking at one of the biggest Stevie Ray Vaughan fans as well. So Stevie Ray Vaughan was taught by the Isotopes guitarist. We have to check that out.
They're taking the bait.
I know. Could you imagine a guy from Rochester taught Stevie Ray Vaughan how to play guitar and you hadn't heard about that before?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think Buzzy's the biggest fan at all.
He also was the biggest Springsteen fan. I've got a lot of questions for Buzzy.
Also, Croge is the blues guitarist in the Isotopes, so I'm assuming they're talking about Lance Uppercut,
Probably.
not Handsome Be Wonderful. If I had to guess, but this is great because Opie it came in on a super chat, so it must be true.
That Stevie Ray Vaughan, when we were living together, would be cranking through our rental. Couldn't stand the weather, just cranking. Oh, that's good to know, Michigan. That's good to know.
I'm gonna let Opie know about the rule of $2 super chats. They're fucking with you. That's the minimum amount you can put in order to get your chat read. These are people who are not trying to support your show; they're trying to derail it. It's $2 super chats.
I don't know. When the guy chose Bobo as his avatar, I felt like he was taking everything very seriously.
Michigan Mark has Bobo wearing his Rangers hat. It all makes sense. None of it makes any sense, as Opie would say. So at this point, Opie's calling out Buzzy for being a hoarder, but he's like, I collect stuff. And he starts pulling out old newspapers. And he pulls out a newspaper that no one would care about except for maybe the three of us.
Other headlines, you ready? Want to get your? This is reactions to headlines. How about this one?
200,000 homes lose power in ice storm.
Were you in Rochester then? Or
No.
had you already gone to Buffalo?
Probably went to Buffalo at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yep. So this was 1991.
Wow, this could be a new segment on
1991.
on my podcast.
What, Buzzy's old newspaper?
Yeah. Talking about things that no one could care about at Ice Storm in Rochester in 1991.
What is it with old guys and saving newspapers? John does it.
Yeah. Well,
did it.
At least John's in the newspapers that he saves. This is a random ice storm. This is reminiscent of in Throw Mama from the Train, where Danny DeVito is showing Billy Crystal his coin collection, and it's all like pennies and nickels that he has from things that he's been to. There's no rare coins.
She's like, not how that works.
I bought this newspaper the day it came out, so I saved it.
Right. And listen, this ice storm, if you lived here, we were without power for 5 days where I was.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
I didn't live here then.
Nobody else gives a shit. Oh, that's right. You were out. You weren't around at that time.
Nope.
Which Simpsons episode did you miss because you didn't have power? That's the real question.
That is a good question. It's Eric Nagel. Wait, so Opie's into Funkos now? I'm done with the Funko world. He just ruined Funko Pops for Eric Nagel.
Sorry, I brought it up.
And Anthony is in here. He says, I just wanted to give the Opster the Ant-Man boost. It's all about the numbers. You did, man. This is the biggest video Opie's going to have for a very long time. Almost 6,000 views already on this thing. And thank God he didn't let it go to waste, because this guy has the newspaper from when Opie got fired from WNEW. And this is the New York Daily News.
Oh my God! Look how youthful I was.
good.
God damn, man.
Yeah, look at that.
God
Look at that
damn.
hair.
God, Anthony was always ugly, huh? All right, let's.
Whoa.
Oh my God! Look,
Whoa, shots fired right there. Opie admiring how hot he is. And then has to throw in Anthony was always ugly in there. It's fun. I like when Opie goes on the offensive. It's good. It's good for him.
All right, let's.
It's good.
This brings back his glory days, though. He gets so excited looking through this newspaper.
Oh my God! Look, the chick is kissing me. Look at this. The chick is kissing me. Very nice. The chick knew which guy to kiss, obviously.
Boy.
Back when I could afford a comb.
I know. What is up with his hair? He never combs his hair. That's a weird thing to get really excited about, though. The photo inside the newspaper.
With a stripper kissing him?
Yeah, who knows?
There
He
might
didn't
not be a
know.
lot of women kissing him. I don't want to theorize about his private life. It might not happen often, though.
So then we get into, and Opie loves this. He got surprised with a t-shirt when he came over to Buzzy's house. And apparently they had a reunion at Geneseo years after everyone graduated. So he was on the radio. And he wasn't on Opie and Anthony yet. He was still just the Opie show or whatever he was doing, spinning records. But it was a big deal that he had his own radio show. So when he gets back to the reunion, everyone's wearing these shirts. And this really gets Opie very excited.
You could show. The shirt says, I don't know if you could see it on camera. It says, I knew Opie before he was famous. And they all were wearing it in between. I was mortified. And now,
I'm sure.
Now he's got a sticky on it that says "Save for garage sale," because that's where my career's gone.
Good
This
stuff.
asshole save for garage sale.
Wow. And
I
they all
knew
also
Opie
know you
before he was
after you were
famous.
famous.
I walked in and literally, I don't know, I would say at least 20 people were wearing it to bust my fucking balls.
He loves that.
Buzzy is fun.
Yeah, isn't he? Oh, look at this. I'm put this in a garage sale.
I'm going to go hang this back up now.
Pretty funny, right? Buzzy's a big show and tell guy. He can't wait to show off all of his stuff that he has. He's got the newspapers, he's got his toys, he's got his build stuff, that t-shirt that he had for Opie when he got there.
It's kind of endearing.
Oh, yeah. No, he's very excited that the Opester is stopping by and visiting him. So this Remember When talk just gets out of control when Fred's in the chat. That's their other buddy. And he's reminding them about stuff. And then Opie gets very flustered.
Right here.
Oh, we should have him on camera.
I know it.
Because Fred's the guy that has like more of a photographic memory and remembers everything me and this guy did in college, all the bad stuff. And every time we see him, he brings it up. I'm like, how do you remember that?
Because he never smoked a bowl in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Wait, there's too many JC stories.
Was Opie wondering if he should talk about marijuana or not?
Oh,
That kind of shut him down a little.
Yeah, he got real flustered
Yeah.
right there. You don't see that out of the Opester very much.
It also implies to me that Buzzy likes to party because they're making fun of this guy, Fred, for not.
Right.
smoking
Yeah.
bowl.
What a loser he is. He remembers what happened in college. Imagine that.
Bowl in his life.
Yeah. Wait, what? There's too many JC stories.
We might have to get that on the board for the Opester.
Opie was this close to telling a good story, and then he realized, no, people be thrown off.
Not
if
telling
they do
that one. Well, he's really excited to have Buzzy and Fred there because now these stories that he tells, these guys are going, yeah, that actually did happen. And so he's letting us know that he's not a liar.
Crowbar. All right, there's Fred. See,
Yes!
Fred's backing up all our shit. Thank you, Fred.
Freddie knows every nuance, every detail.
Because some of these assholes think I make up my
No.
stories. I don't make up my stories. I barely exaggerate. I just had a fucking crazy ass life.
Wow, what a crazy ass life being in a fraternity and going to parties with kegs. The stories he tells, like someone was cooking bacon and passed out, so it got smoky in the house. Like, yeah, happens.
I saw
What a
that.
crazy ass life I've lived.
I saw that episode of The Office too, Opie.
So after he called Anthony ugly, he goes, last time I wrote this in gray. Right?
But Anthony, you should give Buzzy the listener call-in line for WABC. I think you'd have a
Yes.
good show with him.
Oh, definitely get Buzzy and Fred calling into the WABC show. Sunday nights, 8 until 11. Download the app, the 77 ABC app, to listen live. All right, so now this is where the show and tell takes it to another level because Buzzy's very excited about this Funko Pop that he has, and he can't wait to show it off.
I got to go find my inhaler so my lungs don't close because of his 4 cats.
All right, has your son collected the rare high-def Jeff Pop?
What's the high def Jeff?
It's me, baby.
Oh, you got your own Funko?
My kid's got it for me.
Of course, there's a bottle of wine in your hand. I mean,
It's a bottle. Of,
wait, you don't have to open it.
It's a bottle of vinegar.
Oh, it's a bottle of vinegar.
Yeah, it's a bottle of
Wait,
vinegar.
your kids
I'm
got
cooking.
this?
I'm cooking. Yes.
They got this for you?
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. Little high def chef.
Ugh, so proud of it.
It's because your kids think you're a douche. That's why it's
Right.
He had a computer and wine. Dad's drunk on the computer again.
If anyone ever made me my own personalized Funko, I'd stop being their friend.
Shit.
Good
You
to
don't,
know.
you don't know me at all.
Okay. All right. That's a good
You know what I just realized?
Gonna
I didn't
scratch-
notice. Yeah, scratch that one off.
Yeah, that was coming to Hackamania, but not anymore.
I didn't realize this until just now. He has his ring light on. It is daylight. That ring light's competing with the sun. It's not going to put a dent into this.
Maybe it's the opposite of a ring light. It makes his face dark.
It seems
It's a
like
black
it, doesn't
hole
it?
light or something.
Yes, it seems that way. That's crazy. He set up a ring light outside.
Just face the other direction,
Georgia,
you
yeah.
dummy.
Yeah, just don't be directly in the shade.
No, then he
And,
couldn't
with
show
the
off
sun
that he's
behind
friends
you.
with someone who has a pool if he was the other direction.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
And then you see his black lips.
Ring light ain't helping that. Oh, Opie shouts me out right here. I'm not. I was a little confused by this.
I do like pineapple on pizza.
So do I, but sorry, Carl.
Oh, don't apologize to me. I actually like pineapple on pizza. I've been promoting it for the last few weeks, actually. A little bacon, a little pineapple. Delicious. This is the last clip I have on here. And Buzzy walks away, and Opie's just like, you know, if you guys have friends like I have friends, and like me and Buzzy are friends, you got to embrace it because it's so rare to have such good friends that you've known for so long. You know, he's getting really sentimental. And then he says something that's very telling.
My message today: don't take that shit for granted, because most people, as soon as you lose the big gig, they will turn on you. They will shit talk you. They will try to ruin your life because you don't sit in the big seat anymore.
You ever have friends that used to know you when you had a better paying job that they try to ruin your life?
Also, if you just lost the big gig, no one needs to try to ruin your life.
Yeah, no, you ruined your life. So I was going to do that, but then you took a picture
Yes,
of rolling
scratch
shit
that
out.
off the list.
So I'm good.
No Funko Pops for Carl.
Yeah, no need to ruin Opie's life.
Buzzy, let me tell you about the time I went out for envelopes.
I'm sure that came up in their conversation. Can you believe that? He's just like, yeah, man, most of my friends stopped being my friends because I lost this job that I had. It's like, no, they were forced to deal with you.
Yep.
And now they don't have to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They were never your friends, I would argue. I mean, we just played on the bonus show, him and Jim Norton, where Jim Norton wants to be his friend, is actively trying to be his friend. And Jim's like, and Opie's like, we're not close. We're not close. I don't tell you things. It's just like, all right, well, I guess you don't want friends then, Opie. It seems to be taking that for granted at the time.
I loved that episode.
It was fun.
Who are these podcasts?